It's the Flow Friday Night Sports Show, and Western Air Netty having a weekend off this weekend to go with their weekend off last weekend, but not all Western Air netballers had last weekend off. Some ventured down the highway to Cleve for the Pedlar Cup, the under-15s, and joining us on the line to tell us how they went is Reanna Freeman. Hello, Reanna. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Going well, thanks. And yes, Western Air well represented down at Pedlar Cup again. How did the youngsters fare?
Well, look, we'll start with Team 2, who were coached by Eyre O'Brien. So Eyre's only, I think, 19 and her first time coaching at association level. And I asked her for a bit of a debrief, and, well, you should have seen what she wrote. She was super proud of these girls and had a fantastic time. They did lose all but one game. So they played Great Flinders, Eastern Airport, Lincoln, and lost all those games and won against Whaler. But had a great day otherwise. They had young Katie Coote, who is the co-captain. She's a super little pocket rocket through the centre. Ellie said, you don't know she's coming, but you certainly know when she's there. She's got quite a presence. She's only a short player, but fantastic skill and a great little player. And you've got Jasmine Hoffrichter. She played defence all day and was fantastic with Abby Watson and Shelby Murphy. One thing she did say about these girls is when you are losing majority of your games all day, it's very easy to get wrapped up in the losses and maybe become a little bit negative. But she said no such thing with these girls. Their positive attitude and play towards the game was absolutely fantastic. So well done to the team too, and well done to Ellie for taking on that grade.
She's a ripper, Eyre O'Brien. Good stuff. Good work, young Eyre. And she probably only outranked some of her players by, 3 or 4 years.
Yes, she did, and she was supposed to be in our association A grade team, but hurt her knee. So I think it's fantastic that although she couldn't be involved in that, she stepped up to coach these girls. And at such a young age, I think it's a great example for the girls that she coached.
Yeah. All right. So that was the Div 2 side. What about the Pedlar Cup team? How did they fare?
So they were coached again by Kate Richards, and just a little bit of a recap on this team. They played at Lock, and I don't think they won a game, and I think they got beaten by quite a bit. Then they went to Country Champs and ended up winning the grand final in their div, and then went to Pedlar Cup with a slightly changed team because they Western Air reselect for Pedlar Cup.
Yep.
So slightly different looking team. They came up against Port Lincoln and had a draw, 20-all, which is outstanding result compared to Lock. And then they came up against Whaler and again had another draw, 23-all. So really happy. So it was the first 2 games. And then came up against Great Flinders, a really good game up both ends. Our goalies shot really well. Our defenders blocked their goals up really well. And I think they were actually up by 5 at some point in this game and ended up losing by 2, 21-23. And then they played Eastern Air pretty much exactly the same as their game against Great Flinders. I think they were up by 5 or 6 during the game, and then just by a few silly errors, doing some great defensive work and then throwing it away or throwing the ball away or trying to play a bit quicker than they needed to, and ended up losing possession of the ball a few times, which then ended in a 6-goal loss to Eastern Air. So 2 draws, 2 losses, which I think is outstanding improvement from their day at Lock last week.
Yeah, considering they've drawn with the 2 teams who ended up playing off in the final.
Absolutely, and I think there was quite a few comments from a couple of parents and also from the coach that this is the team that sort of looks like they've been playing together for years, which is fantastic, because if these girls can stay together at an association level over the next few years through 17s, it could be something pretty amazing. And I did give Melina Pilcoombs a bit of a rap last week, thinking that she was a bit of a player to watch, and I was definitely on the money because she got the best player of the carnival for Western Air. She played goals. She didn't miss all day. Her and Chloe Evans looked like they'd been playing there for years. Poppy Fawcett was feeding the ball into them beautifully, and Shay Chenoweth and Jasmine Eremmeyer played in defence together all day and were fantastic. So I think absolutely both these 15s teams should be very proud, and both the coaches, a massive thank you to them. It's a massive commitment on it's otherwise a weekend off for you. So neither of these girls have daughters playing in the team. So they've just done this off their own back, and well done to Kate and Ellie, and well done to the parents and all the players who got down there and had a fantastic day out there for first Western Air representing at the Peddler Cup.
Here, well done. All right, before we wrap up, since we've got to focus on the juniors today and we've got no matches to preview, let's have a look at how the Junior A and the Junior B ladders sit at the moment before we wrap up today. And we'll have a look at the senior ladders next week ahead of what will be the next round of matches. But the West Coast Hawks travelling fairly well in the Junior A's, which I'm sure would bring a smile to your face, Reanna.
Yeah, we've only got 7 in this team, so a very tight team. They have got very good at playing together and playing really well together down the court. So they're playing some fantastic netball, and I tell you, if anyone can come get around a netball court for a Junior A game when Hawks play Canberra, it's definitely one to watch. Both teams well represented in the Peddler Cup across both teams, and just fantastic players and really tight. I think they've beaten each other once. Hawks beat them the first time, Canberra beat them the second time. So this Junior A competition is looking outstanding with those top 2 teams, and Sevenard are sitting third on 8, and Westie is fourth on 4, and Ceduna Blues yet to get a win. So I think between the 2 top teams, it's extremely tight, but finals are a different story, and as these girls get more and more court play throughout the year, they get better and better. And I know Sevenard have got quite a few players in their Junior A, I think 12 or 13, so they've got high rotation. So come finals, if they're not rotating their teams quite so heavily, that might also make a difference. So a very good competition and a big future for these girls.
No doubt. Junior B's, 7 teams in this comp. The Hawks have 2 sides, which means you play the odd midweek match. But it's pretty much a similar story here. Canberra, the West Coast Hawks are the top sides, and there's still a final spot open as well.
There is. So you're right, Hawks have got both a navy and a gold team, which has been something completely new for Hawks this year, something that Far West had done in the past. Does mean a few midweek games and a few trips to Ceduna during the week, which we've been very thankful to all the clubs for allowing that and putting in that bit of extra effort. Again, this Canberra team, they've got some fantastic players in here, both in their Junior A, Junior B and Junior C. They are all in the top of the ladder and all looking fantastic. Hawks have got 2 really good sides, and also I don't think it can go unmentioned that Wirral have also got a really good side in there. Junior B, we went up and played them during the week last week, not this week of school holidays, but the last week of school, and they've got a fantastic little team. And I think, again, they're in the same position, only got 7 or 8 players, so come the end of the season, they're going to know each other even better and better, and this last 5 games of the season will settle a few positions on the ladder going into finals. Absolutely.
And just a quick look at the little ones, the little babies, the Junior Cs. There's 4 teams in this comp, and Canberra again top of the pops there. The Hawks have a side here, but so do Westies and Ceduna Blues. That's right, isn't it?
It is. So for a lot of these girls, it's their first time playing real affiliated netball with the full 15-minute quarters, high goal rings, all the normal netball rules. So for some girls, it's a bit of a shock, but you've got the Westies little Junior C team is fantastic and quite good to watch. The Canberra, again, is a class of their own. I did speak to Kate Richards about this Junior C team, and she said they're lucky enough to have had fantastic coaches all through from Net Set Go to Subbies and now to Junior C, and it really shows on the court. This is a quite entertaining grade to watch, and brings pure joy watching this age group, because it's at an age where it's just completely about enjoyment, having some fun, and reminds you what the game's about.
Spot on. All right, well, that's a wrap of where the juniors sit for Western Eyre at the moment, heading into the last stretch of the season. We'll look at the seniors next week. Enjoy the last weekend of a bit of a break, a bit of a season break, and Reanna will catch up with you again next week. Looking forward to it.
No worries. Thank you for having me.